Right now, I see everything is quite relaxed. BlackRock will not participate in this race. Guys, check the sources. I personally doubt it. XRP pump on the 10th February. Why now, please, when the markets are blood red? And I can tell you, don't just judge the thumbnail now, but wait and see what I talk about in the video and how realistic it all is, or how I even came up with the date. Also, let's take a look at what's going on with the legal battle, what's happening with the ETFs, and what's happening in the Ripple ecosystem right now. And what crazy news have I found? So I would definitely stick around. You should quickly grab a coffee and then we'll dive in. We'll see each other after the intro. Just a quick announcement before we dive in. Tonight there will be a YouTube live. I've already announced that in my Telegram group in case you're not part of it yet. Then feel free to use the link in the description. Today we're going to talk about what passive income opportunities there really are in crypto. So not all this bullshit about getting rich quick and here 20% a day and all that nonsense. No, it's about being successful in the long run. And we'll be talking about that tonight, and you can also ask your questions live. But now, let's dive right in. Yes, the dampening around the trading sell has now not only affected Bitcoin, but also the XRP price, which has really suffered since Trump announced it. Look, so here are the BRICS countries and stuff. We're tightening the rules a bit. If you take a look at this on the chart, yes. So right now, let's take a look at the daily view. That's definitely a big deal. Now, one thing you shouldn't forget at this point. We can see here that was the dip around DeepSeek, and down here was my end. So that means right now, I still see everything quite relaxed because we definitely have a stronger support area here. So you see there was a touch here, there was a touch there, and here was also a touch where the breakout happened upwards. Here, let's test that briefly, but it went right back up again. So let's take a look at the whole thing a bit. Let's stay relaxed and wait and see. Of course, it can also go down, no question. So I'm just going to mark the area here. That's exactly the zone, and I would just wait for now. What's happening there? Maybe, so here you can see another green candle. Maybe it's going to go up again. But as long as we don't fall below this range, I still see everything quite relaxed. And then you just have to wait. But I don't have to wait. I just want to say thank you. It's absolutely crazy how many clicks the video got again yesterday. How many likes and comments we can discuss about it. So if you are looking for a channel that is fact-based, honest, transparent, it delivers news without hype, without all that, just some down-to-earth content that I really miss in many channels without naming any names, then welcome to the community. Then you can also become an uptrender. So if you're up for it, feel free to subscribe for free and make sure to activate the bell so you don't miss any important information. And if you like the video and want to give the algorithm a little boost, feel free to leave a like or a comment. That's when things really get going. But now let's get right back to it. Let's dive straight into the topic around the ETF because quite a bit has actually happened. So some of you might not have heard about it yet. BlackRock will not participate in this race. So they already explained a few months ago. No, we're focusing on our Bitcoin and our Ethereum ETF. That's more than enough. But now, Grayscale is really in the game. And everyone who watched the video yesterday, feel free to click in here. I talked about that too. Grayscale has now also launched a mining ETF. So it's quite interesting. It should therefore be the second largest ETF behind BlackRock. Well, behind BlackRock, yeah, that's kind of flexible because it breaks all records. However, it seems they're trying to catch up with the market a bit. And Grayscale has now applied for an XRP ETF. But there are also many other players out there, so it's not just Grayscale that's in the game. That they also want an XRP ETF. But there are also many other players out there, so it's not just Grayscale that's involved. Therefore, just relax and wait to see what happens, because that brings us back to the topic of the legal battle. I personally believe, yes, such an ETF can only come when the legal battle is over. Maybe you have a different opinion on that. Just write about it in the comments. Right now, the news is pretty emotionally driven, so it's either going to skyrocket or everything is going to crash and we'll lose it all. Especially in such market phases, I would personally take a really close look at crypto because it's always been that way in history. There was a really strong setback. Everyone thought, well, nothing is really going to happen now. And then it really took off. Here's a report, for example. Yeah, a 500 billion market cap. That's totally doable. So I've calculated everything and took a look at it. Here's the current chart. We're now at XRP, just rounding up to 170 million. Now, of course, there's still a bit of a way to go. I've compared everything now. With Ethereum, that's not entirely true because we're not at 500 either. But you know what I mean? Here we are now at $646. That would already be a 2x, just so you know. However, we would need to be at around 500 with a price of about $8. So that would be nice in general. By the way, if anyone is wondering what this other project is, I don't know it personally. However, it's about tokenization, and I actually find that quite exciting. So anyone who remembers, Larry Fink has already talked about it. Bonds and stocks, there should be tokenization allowed by the SEC. So many people only know tokenization in relation to real estate. And there are definitely other ways to do it. What can be tokenized? Because theoretically, it can be done with anything. So here's just a little example. Evercraft, I was one of the first to talk about this project. The company is being tokenized and you invest in sustainable technologies. It feels like no one is talking about the project right now. But if you're looking for hidden games, this is not investment advice. Whether that will apply to the project, I think very highly of it, because that's also independent of a Bitcoin chart. But if you want to make big profits, no matter the narrative like gaming, no one is really talking about it right now. Yeah, if something really takes off, you have to be on it early. As I said, this is not investment advice. Do your own research. If you're interested in what the project is doing, feel free to click here. Now you'll find more articles shortly. Yes, the wallets are growing rapidly and then an XRP crash is looming. Okay, so one has nothing to do with the other. In my opinion, it has nothing to do with it at all because it makes sense in a way. So when multiple users and new users join in, new wallets are being created. Why exactly a crash is supposed to happen now? I don't know. So here's a quick look again. That's what I meant. We had a really strong correction here where Bitcoin also suffered extremely. XRP was the only ARN currency that managed to buy the dip back up directly. So it didn't go any further down. And that was already a bit, well, I wouldn't call it a black swan event, but at least a state of shock in the market. And therefore, the community, it's pretty strong here. And I personally suspect that many are just saying here, before I sell there now, I'm really going to wait and see what the market is up to. And there, good. As I said, trading XRP is definitely worth it. But for every hodler, right? I do believe that the substance is quite strong right now. And now let's get straight to the 10th February and my personal opinion on that. So feel free to write that in the comments. Let's remember that there was this CME leak where the website went online and showed for a few hours that XRP and Solana ETFs are supposed to come. And there was talk about the 10th February on this website. Now, one or the other, like this Bloomberg analyst here, has also written, yes, that could be the case and is quite conceivable. And so I personally don't believe it because we still have the lawsuit with the SEC. I recently reported on that too. It really went all over the internet. The XRP lawsuit has been removed from the SEC website. That's not entirely true. It was just moved to a different category. Many attentive viewers pointed that out to me. Thanks at this point. But now you have to ask yourself, why was it even moved? So I haven't been able to figure that out completely yet. But now we have another factor, and that's Paul Atkins, who isn't even in office yet. So they're saying here that he is supposed to be confirmed by the US Senate in April. So I can tell you a few weeks ago, I did a bit of research on that. I couldn't find anything at the moment. But they were talking about 2026. Should that really be the case? That he is only... So he has to be in office to be able to end it all. Then we're talking about April, whether an ETF can come before that. I personally doubt it, but that's just my opinion. If you have a different opinion, feel free to write it in the comments. And then we have this core topic of Bitcoin versus Ripple, or rather, the communities that have really been at each other's throats. Why supposedly Ripple is undermining the existence of Bitcoin reserves. You have to be fair here. So these camps on both sides aren't really taking the truth seriously. So on one hand, sure, the news came out that Garlinghouse talked to Trump about it. He said, look, we not only need Bitcoin reserves, we need crypto reserves in general. Crypto reserves, that means again, so it was never on the table to just say, we only want XRP reserves. You can say that again. Yeah, that's questionable. So to be honest, Bitcoin is independent in my world. So it means no institution, no one can change that in any way. Everyone knows how much Bitcoin will be on the market at any given time. With Ripple, you can't really say that openly because the company still holds around 42% a token. If there were reserves again, that would mean that, for example, a US government becomes dependent on a company because Ripple could just throw these tokens onto the market. Yeah, before you all want to fatten me up, not everyone, that's logical. I'm talking about a maximum of 1 billion tokens per month. But still, folks, that's inflation. On the other hand, we shouldn't forget, I would not only use the reserves now. So limiting it to just one asset, I think it makes sense to say, okay, it's not just Bitcoin as an example, but you also include Ethereum. Or for that matter, a certain portion of XRP. It all has to be in a healthy balance. As of now, you can definitely say that the US government doesn't hold any XRP. So basically, since nothing has ever been actively purchased as of now, where are they? The Illuminati are also very, very strong. Is that all there is? Assets from seizure. So let's look at it positively. At least there haven't been any fraudulent cases with XRP where something was seized. But it would definitely be nice if that amount could just be frozen for a while. Because that's the next topic now. Here, for example, regarding Ethereum, okay, everyone is only talking about the Bitcoin reserves and that these Bitcoins are being held. That's really great. But what are we going to do now when Ethereum is sold here in any form? So that's a few million that could then come onto the market. I don't know. So the mix alone should maybe be the way to go. And then there are also relevant articles about that where I always say, folks, check the sources. We won't be fooled. There will be no XRP in the US reserve. Yeah, who said that? There's a person who tweeted that because he now even has a second source in some form. So, friends, I always find that exciting. What sources there are, I've read it in my comments as well. The SEC dispute, that's been over for a long time. That's only going to be published in March. Yeah, how do you know that? So when I ask and say, what sources do you have? Yeah, I can't tell you that. Strict secret. I can never quite believe that people have such deep insight into the SEC or even into the US government where everything is kept under wraps and they can just blurt things out. I have a source. So my personal opinion is I've taken a look at the gentleman as well. Yeah, in terms of reach, let's talk about that now. Let's take a look, shall we? I also checked out their website. I guess it's a bit like it says here, financial services, etc. In the end, well, he's definitely very pro-Bitcoin. We'll have to wait and see if he's really right about that or not. By the way, I can tell you at this point, in case you haven't followed me yet, feel free to catch up on that. So I keep sharing the most important information here. What's going on in the cosmos right now? So if you're up for it, of course, you're very welcome, and that should be it for now. I'm really curious about your opinion. If this video helped you, then feel free to give it a like. Feel free to leave a comment. Let's discuss it. Other opinions are welcome too. Just maybe please be friendly. That would be really cool. And otherwise, if you haven't subscribed yet, feel free to leave a free subscription. Then maybe we'll break the 9K and we'll see each other live on YouTube tonight. In conclusion, I can only give you this tip. Feel free to check out this video as well. That was the last update on Ripple. And I can tell you that again, don't always take a thumbnail at face value. Also check out what's being said behind it. And yes, it's the objectivity that's unfortunately missing in this cosmos right now. We'll see each other in the next video tomorrow. and in the YouTube live today. In that sense, see you later. All the best. Bye.